Equinoxe Télévision, au-delà de l'image, nous rendons compte.
Six p.m. in Bonadikomo, that is in the southwest region of Cameroon. Same time in Nesu village in the Menchum division of the northwest region of Cameroon. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 6 p.m. edition of the Newscast on Equinoxe Television. For presentation, I am Immaculate Forward. First, our major stories. 3 persons have been burned to death and several others injured in Gawel, a locality in the far north region of Cameroon. The herdsmen were attacked by thieves who invaded their ranch, and kidnappings for ransom continued gaining ground in the conflict northwest region after spending several days in separatist captivity. A video showing teachers of GBH's way being severely tortured with the aid of a machete has emerged on social media. The school officials were kidnapped on campus on March 18, and an amount of 10 million francs CFA has been demanded as ransom by the separatist fighters. And over to religion, considered as the holiest days in the Christian calendar, Christians around the globe are observing Good Friday to commemorate their belief in the crucifixion of Jesus Christ on the cross of Calvary. How the day was commemorated in several churches will be explained in this newscast. Stay with us for details and more. Thank you so much for choosing Equinoxe Television. You made the right choice. 3 persons have been burned to death and several others injured in a conflict that occurred in Gawel in Douala subdivision of the far north region. The victims, speaking to Equinoxe TV, say they were attacked by thieves who stole their cattle. The senior divisional officer of Diamare, Jean-Marc Ikwambaga, during his visit in Dawel, denounced the act, which he termed as inhumane. A.C. Luciliengo reports from Douala.
A conflict provoked by an alleged cattle theft leaves 3 people dead and others severely injured in Gawel, Douala subdivision.
Les voleurs sont venus dans la nuit prendre.
At night, the thieves came to our village to steal our cattle. We followed their footsteps. Arriving in the village, it was already 6 p.m. Time for prayers. We stopped.
Que nous avons continué les recherches. Arrivé dans un.
We continued to another village at 9 p.m. Arriving there, the people made up of men and women attacked us. I ran away, but 3 of my brothers were burned.
C'est après ça qu'ils ont tué et brûlé mes 3 autres frères qui n'ont pas eu le temps d'échapper à la mort.
The senior divisional officer of Jamari, Jean-Marc Ikwambaga, strongly condemned the act during his visit.
Tu peux justifier une telle atrocité. Parce que la vie humaine est sacrée. Pour une tête de bœuf, pour un troupeau, on ne peut pas mettre à la balance une vie humaine.
Jean-Marc Ikwambaga pleaded on the family members of the deceased to forgive the perpetrators of the unlawful act by letting justice take its course.
Certains suspects sont déjà entre les mains de la police judiciaire.
He also encouraged them to pray and rely on God, mostly during this period of the Ramadan fasting.
Je voudrais davantage insister, Sa Majesté, sur le fait que les gens ne doivent pas nourrir l'esprit de vengeance. Ça ne règle rien.
Meantime, some suspects have been arrested and investigations continue to determine the real cause of the conflict.
From the far north region, we now move over to the northwest region, where a tear-provoking video of teachers kidnapped on March 18, 2024 in Way Village in that part of the country has emerged on social media. In the video, the 3 school officials and the bike rider picked together are seen being severely tortured by their kidnappers. The kidnappers are asking for 10 million francs CFA as ransom. Fomi Armstrong Sanda reports.
Officials were kidnapped on March the 18th, 2024 when suspected separatist fighters launched an attack in the government high school Way, a village in the Menchum division of the northwest region of Cameroon. The attack resulted in the abduction of the school principal, Mr. Tafum Titus, here in the video, and 2 other school officials. 10 days after the abduction, this video appeared on social media with them being severely tortured by their kidnappers. Manifesting what others have qualified as the inhumane and the insensitive nature of atrocities in the Anglophone regions of Cameroon, one of them says that their kidnappers are requesting a 10 million francs CFA ransom.
I beg when they have contribute the 10 million that would ask we, so more pay that for the damages. So they don't already cut my 2 fingers then. So I really beg when I say if we not do so, it means they will kill that for this bush.
It was about 11 a.m. on Monday, March the 18th, 2024, that gunmen stormed the government high school way campus, firing gunshots. The attack generated panic, halting learning and the written part of the GC mock examination that day. The attackers also burnt the examination materials before proceeding to abduct a bike rider identified by the local population as Inusa.
A terrible experience then Way, that is a locality in the Menchum division of the Northwest region of Cameroon. Away from insecurity, the senior divisional officer for Way Division has urged Douala 5 municipal authorities to step up the fight against incivility and poor hygiene as a contribution to keep the city of Douala orderly and clean. He was speaking during the council's ordinary session dedicated to the examining of the administrative management and stores accounts for the 2023 financial year. Innocent Aze reports.
5 billion 50 million francs CFA is the budget realized by the Douala 5 Council for the functioning of the 2023 financial year.
We think that we can do more better in 2024. So we spoke with the mayor so that it should accelerate the procedure so that our council could reach the level of 6.5 billion for 2024. And that will increase the level of the employees, that will increase the level of investment in society, and that will help the population. We believe that we have the capacity, we have the means, and we have the will also. So that was our complaint.
We went on the field, so many projects who have been realized, maybe at 70% like that.
Collaborators of the mayor think a lot still has to be done in terms of project realization, as well as remuneration of the council's income generators.
We have bridges, some classes in schools, in primary schools already. We have in some hospital, we have some building.
Those municipal council police officers are working hard. So we believe that due to the impact of our finance, we need to share to those people. We need to take decision, the mayor needs to take decision to encourage those people by giving them some means, which is the fruit of our development.
Wuri SDO in attendance challenged the municipal authorities to wage war against incivility and ensure cleanliness in the municipality. In response, the mayor promised to take firm actions against recalcitrant business individuals who do not assist in keeping the municipality clean every Thursday. We have all agreed to institute structures in quarters and villages to enable quarter heads and chiefs assist us keep the municipality clean. 2023 earmarked projects of the Douala 5 Council stand at about 70% execution rate, with assurances to the population they will be fully executed.
From the Douala 5 Council, we now move to the Douala 4 Council, which was able to attain 98.92% of its projects in 2023. One of the major challenges raised by councillors was a collection of taxes which slowed down the financing of council projects. This worry was raised during the administrative management and store account session of Douala 4 Council. Details with Malaglory.
The major challenge encountered by the Douala 4 Council during the 2023 administrative year was the collection of taxes to finance council projects and services, says the mayor of the Douala 4 Council, Mopa Edward, during the administrative management and store account session of the Douala 4 Council.
Et concernant les taxes, vous savez,
Nous sommes la mairie.
We have taxes to recover as the council, and we also have the obligation to work with measures and taxes for the interest of the population. We also promise to do everything to increase our local tax collection this year.
Augmenter nos taxes locales, nos recettes propres pour le bien-être des populations.
The store account for 2023 was voted, adopted, balanced in expenditure. To this effect, the senior divisional officer who was present at the session promised to assist the council in meeting up with their projects.
We are going to continue to sustain all the efforts in order to increase our level of recover tax and all that means we need in order to intensify our level of functioning.
However, the councillors noted that the initial budget for 2023 was realized at 98.92%. The budget was faced with enormous difficulties, which they intend to correct in 2024.
And now we talk religion. Christians today commemorate Good Friday, a day they believe Jesus Christ died on the cross for the salvation of mankind. That is why Reverend Fusas James, during the service at Trinity Baptist Church Mbopi, told Christians that this day should be more important to them than the birth of Christ, which is celebrated even by unbelievers. Malaglari Fellowship with Christians of Trinity Baptist Church Mbopi and now reports.
This day is a special day in the lives of Christians.
Especially Christians of Trinity Baptist Church Mbopi, Douala 3 subdivision, who converge in the Lord's house this Friday, March 29, to celebrate the death of Christ, known as Good Friday. The church pastor, Reverend Fusas James, during the service said Good Friday should be more important to Christians than any other day because
he came because he was going to the cross to pay the price for the sins of mankind. And without his death, there is no salvation for man.
Generally, on Good Friday, observed as the day Jesus died on the cross, many believe that dressing in black or sackcloth could be a way of expressing their sadness, but this is not biblically proven.
We are looking at what his death has brought for us. And so, in the reasons, we ought to celebrate the result of his death.
In celebrating Good Friday, Baptists have different activities they organize on this day, which varies from one church to another.
The Passion Week lessons that we as Baptists we designed to teach through this week with the objective of helping the Christians to draw close to Christ.
At the end of the service, Christians express their feelings on how important the day is to them.
To me, this day is very important because it brings me closer to Christ and make me to stay in his word just for his second coming and nothing else.
For me, as a Christian, it's a special occasion for me. Yes, because what he did is priceless.
One of the activities marking the day's celebration was the Mains dedication, during which the president of Douala Association expressed his desire to win more souls. A joyful procession from different choirs crowned the Good Friday celebration at Trinity Baptist Church, Mbopi.
Let's now move to Loum in the Mungo division, where Catholic Christians reenacted the crucifixion of Jesus Christ to mark Holy Friday. Once more, Malagla reports.
In Loum, hundreds of Catholic Christians participated in the customary Good Friday procession through the Station of the Cross. The walk passed 14 stations along the road, wearing solemn expression on their faces, carrying the cross and singing songs which reminds them of the suffering of Christ on the cross. The Christians, while celebrating, were advised to be strong during these trying moments, especially with the high cost of living in Cameroon and the ongoing crisis in the Anglophone regions, to pray for God's intervention.
Comme le Christ a vaincu la mort, je crois que la Pâque, c'est surtout l'espérance. Espérance pour nous autres chrétiens, espérance qu'au-delà de la souffrance, il y a toujours une lueur d'espoir. Et face aux situations que nous vivons, la vie chère, comme vous venez d'évoquer, et le problème du nozo, nous continuons à prier.
According to the Christians, the suffering in the world today is due to their sins and the so many atrocities committed by men around the world today. Reasons they are asking for God's mercy.
Nous sommes en train de porter nos croix à sa suite pour montrer au Seigneur que nous sommes fautifs, nous sommes des pauvres pécheurs. Et en vue de ce que nous vivons aujourd'hui, nous comprenons que le Christ, parfois comme on le dit, le Christ est fâché parce qu'il y a trop de méchanceté dans le monde. La vie est devenue tellement difficile et parfois on se dit...
The Catholic Christians in Loum ended the day in the church house where they shared the word of God while preparing to celebrate Easter on Sunday, which is the resurrection of Christ.
Away from religion, we now take you out of our frontiers where the president-elect of Senegal, Bassirou Diomaye, has been received at the presidency by the outgoing president, Macky Sall. Bassirou Diomaye was accompanied by his right-hand man, Ousmane Sonko. Both men discussed state affairs while planning on how the inauguration will unfold. Anna Bila takes us to Senegal.
As the Constitutional Council prepares to officially confirm the victory or results of the election in Senegal, the President-elect Bassirou Diomaye Faye and his right-hand man Ousmane Sonko were received on Thursday, March 28 at the presidential palace by the outgoing President Macky Sall. The both men, among other pertinent issues, discussed on the swift and peaceful handover in the West African country that prides itself on democratic stability. Macky Sall welcomes Diomaye and Ousmane Sonko in a visit which the presidency has termed a courteous meeting where they discussed at length major state issues as well as the upcoming inauguration ceremony. The newly elected president also met with other cabinet members and stakeholders for a brief and important meeting in Dakar. Macky Sall had provoked a political crisis in February by suspending the presidential election just days before the polls were open. The move sparked protests and clashes that left 4 people dead before the Constitutional Court ordered him to set the election date for March 24. Bassirou Diomaye Faye is set to be sworn in as the 5th president of Senegal with a population of about 18 million. He has promised to restore national sovereignty and reconciliation and also to work in total humility for the good of all Senegalese.
Now we take you to South Africa, where 45 people have died after a bus fell into a bridge. An 8-year-old child is the lone survivor in this incident. Meantime, at least 11 people have been killed and 100 homes destroyed as the cyclone Gamane smashed into northern Madagascar. The storm was projected to skim the Indian Ocean island but changed its course and hit the island's Vohema district. Seri Chakutio completes the story.
A bus carrying worshippers plunged off a bridge on a mountain pass, killing at least 45 people, with only 1 surviving. According to the Limpopo provincial government, the bus veered off the Memtakala bridge and plunged 50 meters into a ravine before bursting into flames. Authorities say they believe the bus was traveling from the neighboring Botswana to the town of Moria, which hosts a popular Easter pilgrimage. They said it appeared that the driver lost control and was one of the dead. According to authorities in the northern province of Limpopo, the sole survivor of the crash was an 8-year-old child who was receiving medical attention. Elsewhere, at least 11 people were reported killed after a cyclone Gamane made landfall into northern Madagascar. The cyclone was predicted to bypass the Indian Ocean island, but it changed course, leaving hundreds of homes destroyed. The National Bureau of Risk and Disaster Management said in a report earlier on Thursday that the deadly cyclone crossed the northeast of Madagascar in 2 days, displacing more than 18,000 people, with 3 others still missing. The body also stated that the cyclone was moving with average winds of 150 km per hour and gusts of 210 km per hour.
That's it for the first part of the news. Talking Point is up next. Tonight on Talking Point, I'll be receiving Barrister Calvin Job. He is the family lawyer of Martinez Zogo. Good evening, Barrister. It is a pleasure to have you on Talking Point tonight.
Good evening, my colleague, and good evening for your viewers, and thank you for interviewing me this night.
More than a year of investigations, the trial pitting 17 co-accused in the Martinez Zogo capital murder case started on the 25th of March. We have been closely following up this file. Can you explain to us how the case has been evolving?
Concerning the evolving of the case, at the beginning we have a charge for torture and for all the accused, and then we have an escape attempt with the release order we all knew was given to us on the December the 1st, and after that we have to wait for the third judge, an examining judge, to see that they partially recognize that Martinez was, the case of Martinez was not the case of torture, it was a case of murder. That is how at this point we are today, and that is at this point the hearing is starting.
Now, Barrister, why do you think this case is continuously being adjourned? Are there some hidden facts that I and our viewers are not aware about?
I can understand that there is a lot of suspicion concerning this case and concerning the way the judge are dealing with this. But this adjustment is only a way to respect some trial process. There is a lot of things will have to be checked before the hearing really starts. That's how I can explain the main adjournment.
What about the personalities involved? Do you think their status is having an influence on why this case is continuously being adjourned?
It's also that. But it is mainly the need to respect the process, because when you start that kind of hearing, you have to know who is in front of you, who is accused, who are the people who are accused, and what they are accusing for, and have to check all that thing before starting. And due to the fact that we have a lot of lawyers who want to explain their view regarding the people who are accused, that's why it took too long to examine the first step of the hearing.
It's been over a year now that Martinez Zogo died. How is the family of Martinez Zogo coping after the tragic death of their father, husband, brother, especially now that justice seems to be very slow?
Martinez Zogo family, they have lost their leader. They lost the fixer, they lost the provider. You can also imagine how they are today, how in desperate situation they are. And they are also willing to hear and to know what the judge will finally decide. And if the judge will finally decide that the person who are accused at the beginning of this case are the really person who were responsible for the Martinez murder, they are also worried about the fact that the time is too long, and the military could take a lot of time to find and to accuse and to open the hearing. They are very, very worried about that. But we as lawyers, we try since the beginning to explain them the mechanism of the trial. So they have a lot of expectation from the judge anyway.
Now, as one of the lead defense counsel, are you assured that at the end of this trial, justice will be served to Martinez Zogo and the family?
We are working to ensure that the justice will be done in this case, but when it's coming with the judgment, no one, absolutely no one can be sure of in what way the judgment will the judge will go. But for us, in our view, the facts are clear in this file. The facts are clear. Martinez Zogo was murdered, and we are making all our possible to get the court admit that those who were bring in front of the judge are the responsible of the Martinez murder.
Given your experience in the law field, are you convinced that the justice system in Cameroon is fair and transparent?
The justice in Cameroon has a lot of failure, comparing to another country and comparing to another African country. But and we have to also notice that it is the first time in this country that a journalist murder, a case of journalist murder, is brought in front of the court. A lot of journalists were murdered in this country, and no one opened any file concerning them. So it could be maybe naive, but I think we have to have a kind of hope that maybe regarding the situation, regarding the historical file, the judge will show us that justice in Cameroon can be at the level they are waiting for them, a fair level.
For some time now, there have been doubts on whether Martinez Zogo has been buried. We'd like to know from the horse's mouth, has Martinez Zogo's corpse been buried?
No, he's not buried yet, because the family is not ready for that at this time. I try all my best, I have to say, to organize the funeral or whatever, but they are not ready yet. I think maybe they want the court to settle this case before we attend to organize a burial of Martinez Zogo.
What's your overall appraisal of press freedom in Cameroon?
I've read that I have a lot of rumor concerning corruption for those people, but at my point I don't have any proof. But we can also questioning the following up with the order, release order and the dismissal. There's a lot of question can be carry out and asked about that, and if it is real, if it appears to be real, it's very, very shameful for our justice. And I am really concerned and really worried about all the rumors and I hear concerning regarding those military justice personnel.
Barrister, two prominent judges of the military tribunal were removed by the head of state, Colonel Sipa Didier Dormo, and the director of the military justice and Lieutenant Colonel Sikati Kwamo Florent Aimé, the investigating judge at the Yaoundé military court. The decision comes after rumors had it that they have received bribes from prime suspects. But then, it's not confirmed yet. What can trigger the head of state to take such a decision, especially with a critical case like this that we are talking about?
I have to be honest. That in Cameroon the press is not really free. They are not free because I mean our government doesn't understand the need, and the main how can I say, the main the really fundamental right the press have, and so they think they have to shut them up, they have to control them, and so they will maybe be in a quiet. So in the when you want to quote the element we can you can notice, show that the country is very, very free, or is very democratic. You can quote the liberty of press. But in Cameroon, we have a lot of works in this way.
Barrister Calvin Job, lead defense counsel of the family of Martinez Zogo. And that's what put an end to today's edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your keen attention. Stay in the company of more interesting programs on ETV. Up next is Equinoxe. Have a lovely weekend.